Hey everyone, Marcel here, back with the Pulse, and I'm back home again. I'm back home in sunny Germany. It actually is sunny today, and had a great trip home. I've got a fun story to share with you guys, something that I've got coming up here, and something that I heard about regarding jet lag. I have to say that going home, I really enjoy it so much more than my pre-NMN days. I used to go home, and this is how it would go. I usually fly into Chicago when I'm visiting home, and even when I was doing some work in the audio business, I would end up flying to Chicago from Frankfurt. And I would get there, and I would get home, and I would fall asleep. I would have to fall asleep at 4 or 5 in the afternoon because I just couldn't anymore. It was like I hit a wall after that travel, and I'd get so tired. And it's so nice now to be able to go home and not hit that wall. It's actually bizarre to me, but I make it all the way till 9, 10 o'clock. I think the first couple nights were like 9 p.m. And every night, every morning, I woke up around 5 to 6. So I essentially made it through the night. My parents get up at 6, 7, so I'm not really up by myself that much. This was never the case before NMN. It has been such a stark contrast compared to how I would travel from Europe to the States before. I can't even tell you guys, if you're going to be doing international travel, if you're going to be having to fight back jet lag, and I'd like to hear your stories if you've experienced this, any reduction in jet lag when you've traveled to Europe, any of you out there, I'd love to hear you in the comments because it's been unbelievable. And matter of fact, coming back, I got back Monday. I played tennis every day this week, and I got right back to my normal sleep schedule. Again, going to bed at 10 o'clock and getting up at 6 in the morning, 7 in the morning at the latest, helping my wife prepare the kids for school. I jumped right back in. Little bit groggy at times, little bit tired, I will admit, but never hitting a wall and never not able to function. It's been absolutely amazing. Matter of fact, this trip was the best one I've had, even in the NMN years. For whatever reason, I've really hit my stride. Maybe it's the 3 times a day thing, again, which I've said has helped me sleep so much better. I'm wondering if it just helped me adjust my time zone so much better. But it's remarkable. We're 7 hours difference from Chicago. And I had no problem at all immediately. Not a single time was I up at 2 or 3 in the morning. I'm right back to the schedule when I got home. I was right back in the schedule when I returned to Germany. Funny story is, I'm a Bears fan. Grew up in Chicago. Matter of fact, I took my kids to one Bears game in the past, and since then they wear their jerseys to school. They wear their hats in the winter. They got their Bears winter hats. And you know, they identify as being Chicagoans, even though they never really lived there other than visiting, you know, my home. It's my home. It's my sports team. It's my sports city. But they're into it. So this Sunday, in a couple days, come to find out in the last few months, they're on the schedule to come to play in London. And I thought, well, this is crazy. This is so cool. I can get with Danny at DoNotAge, we can meet up. I can take Danny to a Bears game because we went to a professional soccer match here in Germany. I said, wouldn't it be fun to go with Danny from DoNotAge to a Bears game? So we're going Sunday to a Bears game in London with my kids. Really excited about it. And I'm tuning in to sports radio in Chicago, which I do once in a while. It's ESPN Chicago. It's a show called Waddle and Sylvie. Tom Waddle used to play for the Bears in the 90s. He was a very popular receiver. He used to take a lot of hard hits. And John Madden used to say, you know, he's having concussions. He needs smelling sauce, you know, because he used to get hit so hard. He wasn't fast. You know, he was non-athletic, but he always caught the ball. He's quite an impressive player back then. And so I love listening to their show, and I thought maybe they'd be going to London, but it turns out they're interviewing the voice of the Bears every day or 3 days this week, Jeff Joniak. So they talk to him the day he arrives in London at 11 o'clock at night. And he is explaining how wiped out he is. And it's exactly what I used to go through. And just so you know, Jeff Joniak's 62. I'll be 60 in a couple months, so we're close in age. And oh my gosh, when I heard him explaining, it just brought back all the memories of how torturous international travel can be. And, for the first couple of days of the third day, he was a little better. But the first couple of days, he's just dying. He doesn't know where he is. He doesn't know what time it is. He feels like he hasn't slept in a month. He slept that afternoon, big mistake. Then he was up that night. They were singing him lullabies at the end of the interview just to try to help him get to sleep. So it was pretty crazy, pretty hilarious. It was just radio gold, I have to say. It was really fun to listen to. But, I'm reliving, my pre-NMN days, listening to him, and I'm thinking, Jeff Joniak, you need NMN, man. You really need it. So many people do. I talk about that all the time, but it was so clear. And I dread for him going back home because it's even going to be probably worse. Sorry to say it, Jeff. But yes, NMN turned everything around for me, and including the jet lag. I still can't believe I went right back to the normal schedule. Like, even with NMN, I would wake up at 3 or 4 sometimes going, and then coming back was somewhat tough, but it was much easier than before. But now I'm just able to, boom, go right back to the new schedule. It's crazy. It's really wild. So whatever I'm doing, I'm just sticking to the program right now. I do suspect that it's taking it that 3 times a day. I think that's helping me just reset and regulate really, really well my body clock. So I mentioned talking soon to Dan Fabricant. Well, he reached out to me today, been kind of waiting, and we're kind of in limbo because we're waiting to hear what the FDA comes back and says. He said, hey, next week would be a good time to talk. So I think we're going to finally get that interview done with him, and I really look forward to hearing what's going on. I also want to ask him about the political ramifications of this election and how that could or could not impact NMN going forward, because we know, and I've talked about before, and hey, NMN, supplements in general, should be bipartisan. We're all aging. We're all dealing with health issues. Democrats and Republicans, we all need, to eat healthy, and we should be interested in nutrition, which supplements certainly fall into that category. Unfortunately, the only help we've been getting so far has been on the Republican side. That's just a fact. This channel is nonpartisan. I don't pick favorites. I'm not picking anyone in this election. I have a feeling I know who's going to win. It's shaping up to look that way, that we're going to have a change in leadership. And if we do, hopefully, Robert Kennedy talking not so nicely about the FDA, maybe we can address some of these issues, and we'll certainly turn up the heat and try to work together with Natural Products Association to try to get some changes going on with Jeff Duncan. Hopefully we can get him on the show because he's been so pro supplements. So it's really going to be time. When I do this, I'm not picking, sides in this race. I just want everyone to know that. But my side is on NMN. My side is on the supplement industry right now with all that's gone on. And we need to fight with whoever's going to fight with us. That's really the bottom line here. And that's the mindset going into this. So don't think that we're playing politics. It's not what we're doing here at all. I want everyone's aging, right? Everyone gets jet lag. Everyone has health issues. Democrats and Republicans. We all need better nutrition. So it's not about picking sides. It's working with whatever side we have to work with. And unfortunately, we've not been getting cooperation from the current leadership and the current leadership at the FDA. So hopefully we can start to see a change in that going forward, and that's what we're working for. So I will try to check in with you guys, as I said, from London, but certainly by next week, and I'll let you know how it all went. Thanks for watching. See you soon.